They say that life is a gift, but for this boy it felt more like a burden from the very first breath. Born into extreme poverty, he didn't have the luxury of a childhood. While other kids played with toys, he played with survival. He learned to walk on a dirt floor and learned to work before he could even speak. He looked at the world with innocent eyes, not knowing that the weight of it would soon rest entirely on his shoulders. He laughed, he crawled, and he chased chickens, unaware that these were the only carefree moments he would ever get. As he grew, the reality of his life set in. He didn't go to school to learn, he went to the fields to eat. He traded his books for a basket and his dreams for a shovel. Every brick he carried and every heavy load he lifted was a piece of his youth chipping away. He watched the rich kids go to school in their clean uniforms, while he stood covered in mud and cement. But he never complained, not once. He had a fire inside him, a promise to himself that his own children would never suffer the way he did. Years turned into decades in the blink of an eye. He found love, a simple love, and he built a family. This was his purpose. He worked double shifts, destroying his body in dangerous construction sites, eating cold rice on the side of the road just to save a few pennies. When his son was born, he held him up to the sky and swore, "You will be better than me." He poured every ounce of his sweat and blood into that boy's future. He smiled through the pain of his aching back because seeing his son hold a graduation certificate made every second of suffering worth it. How many years do you want your dad alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. But time is a cruel thief. As his children succeeded, they flew the nest. They moved to big cities, chased big careers, and slowly forgot about the man who broke his back to get them there. The house he built with his own hands became silent. He would sit by the door every evening, smoking his cheap cigarettes, watching the road, hoping to see a car pull up, hoping for a visit. But the road remained empty. He walked through the village alone, his body bent from years of labor, his hair turned white by worry. He realized that he had given them wings, but they had flown away from him. Then came the day the silence was broken, not by a visit, but by illness. He lay in his small, cold bed, his breathing shallow. Suddenly the room was full. His children, now grown adults with expensive clothes, rushed to his side. They cried, they held his hand, and they begged him not to go. They finally had the time to visit him, but he had run out of time to be with them. He looked at them one last time, a tear rolling down his cheek. He didn't speak of his pain or his loneliness. He just smiled, happy to see them one last time. He closed his eyes and took his final breath, leaving behind a legacy of love and sacrifice. Don't wait until a hospital bed to visit the ones who gave you everything. Cherish your parents while they can still hear you say, "I love you."